So in the mise en place video, one thing that I spoke about a little bit that I wanted to get more in depth about was reading the recipe. Okay, this is one of the most important steps that you're going to take when you're following a recipe and cooking. And it's actually kind of shocking to me the amount of people that skip reading the recipe. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, there have been times when I've had a recipe to make, I didn't read the recipe through first, and then I ended up missing some of the most important steps because I didn't read the recipe first. And that is something that's gonna hold you back and take up more of your time. It's gonna cause you to lose time because then you're trying to fix your mistakes and possibly fix a meal that might not be fixable. So reading the recipe is actually important for a few reasons that I wanna talk to you about. The first one is it lets you know how much you'll be making and if you'll need to double the recipe or supplement with sides or a salad to go with it to make sure that everyone is satisfied with the meal that they have. The next thing is that it helps ensure that you have all the ingredients and equipment on hand that you need to make the recipe. And again, speaking from experience, there is nothing worse than getting halfway through a recipe and realizing that you don't have one of the ingredients that you need and that you don't have a substitute for it, or that you don't have a piece of equipment that you need to continue the recipe. So be sure to read it first so you can avoid this. The next reason it's important to read the recipe is so that you can understand the steps and the order of operations, or the order that things should be happening in. You may find that in certain recipes, some steps actually occur rather quickly. And if you've read the recipe beforehand, you're aware that that's going to be happening and are ready for it when it comes along so that you don't ruin the dish. You may have dishes that need to rest, or they won't come out, or they won't set the way that they need to. And you especially want to pay attention to the wording of the instructions so that you're prepared for what might come up while you're cooking. This is also going to allow you to categorize ingredients together. So for example, when you're baking, putting all the dry ingredients in one bowl so that you're not having to wash a bunch of extra dishes that you didn't need to. So learn from my past mistakes and read through every recipe you make before you cook it. It only takes 2 minutes and you're going to find that it makes you a lot more efficient in the kitchen.